Hey committee, Dean Marks here, doing my week 3 update report for my master's project. Just again, real quick, the master's project is operations management, facilities, gates, back end, front end, credit card processing software for. It's going to start with the self-service, self-storage industry, and then maybe some other things if I'm smart enough. Um, yeah, so that's the project. I feel like I should do a note with. There's clearly like something weird going on with my enrollment status. Long story short is whenever I graduated with my data certificate, I was like kicked out of school, so I wasn't like technically allowed to enroll in the like this last class. So I took extra classes, like clearly pursuing a master's, even though I wasn't enrolled. That was always the plan. I just did the certificate at first to make sure that I like wanted to do it. Then I like went on to the masters, which is like what most people do. Well, I mean, I was under the impression that I had applied, was accepted into the master's program. They're trying to tell me that I haven't. I can test that I did. Um, I can't get into my email to prove that because I'm locked out of my email, so I guess it's moot. But like, regardless, even if I didn't, it's like I'm 33 of 36 hours in. It seems like you should, like a student who's been here, like even if they messed up, you're gonna make them waste 6 months of their life or whatever because of like a case of doing documents wrong. When it's like you'll run a multi-million-dollar ad campaign about like expect more. It's like I expect somebody would have called me and said like, "Hey, you're clearly pursuing this degree. You're not enrolled, man." So anyway, whatever. That's how I feel about it. I was probably a little mean to the graduate school via email, but like I'm not wrong either. Um, so anyway, that's just a weird problem I'm dealing with. Regardless, I'm gonna keep making these videos. I'm gonna keep doing the work, and yeah, um, yeah. So anyway, excuse the weird background. I'm in a rent house my family and I own. My job is to clean this today, so there's just a bunch of crap everywhere. Um, but anyway, let's kind of get into the software. So yeah, make sure I got internet. So I'm at 3,186 lines at the moment, just on the back end on the like Python side. Again, this is a Flask um, plus Python plus JavaScript plus HTML CSS setup. The sort of there's like 26 files at this point. Average size file is probably like 1,000 lines, so that's. But I'm probably getting close to like 25,000 lines. I mean, probably even more than that, really, for this program, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I guess maybe that's not really that much, but it feels like a lot for me. Like, this is probably one of the biggest things ever made. This is like turning into like a lot of stuff. It feels like. But anyway, I wrapped this program and I've got kind of a new landing page. I learned about the JavaScript to like, make these buttons feel kind of real. Worked on the credit card logo thing a little bit more. This is just the business card kind of thing. About page, just same George Carlin content. Cleaned it up a little bit. All features video guide. That is this video that we're making now. We'll replace this one. This is the video from week 2.
Hey guys, Dean Marks here. Hey committee. Doing a week 2.
You guys remember that? Shut up, Dean. Demo backend, demo front end. I'm going to skip that for just a second. Pricing and onboarding. This is still pretty ugly, but it's starting to come together. Pricing. I'm going to charge $20 a month just for whatever I end up doing. With a 50 cent. So the nearest competitor charges $80 a month. And then that's Storage Commander. And then the Storage Commander, pretty much all of them cost $1 per unit. And I think they might even do $1 a unit a month. But I'm going to do 50-cent onboarding fee per unit. So like, it's just to set up your map to like compensate for your time. You're probably going to have to travel there and put eyes on it. Transaction management. This number is fairly standard, 3.5%. I think Storage Commander actually does 3.75%, so I did 3.5. And I have to figure this out, but basically, it's just, Stripe is underlying all of this. So Stripe is charging you 2.9% plus a 30 cent per transaction fee, 30 cents per transaction plus 2.9%. So if you do 3.5%, then you're able to skim, 0.06% of a point off of a facility with 500 units with, what is that, 50% are credit card subscription based, assuming like an 80% occupancy. You're probably talking like $1,000 a month just of one facility that you're able to just skim without anybody knowing. It's like they're paying like they think they're paying $20 a month, but really, and like this isn't that probably sounds a little sketchy, but it's like that's what they're all doing. That's how they really make their money, from what I've seen. I don't think there's anything wrong with that particularly. Payout for clients. I've got to figure this out. Have like a payout page. That's down the road, but onboarding process just kind of talks about how we make the map, we make the website, yada yada. No tiers, just value. So yeah, that sign up, they link to the same thing. For the client onboarding page, I haven't built this yet, but again, I told you that the idea was to copy how MailChimp used to do it back in the day. And maybe they still do it, I don't know, but this is how they used to do it. It was like you download a template. This file doesn't exist yet, but I'm going to set it up to where it's Excel file with like multiple tabs on the bottom. So like tab 1's facility 1, facility 2, facility 3, whatever. And then it'll be like client name, first name, client name, last name, unit number, unit size, maybe customer notes, credit card information if they have that, if it's legal to transfer. I don't know. And then also the client's name, just a form for them to fill out, nothing special. I noticed this number of facilities, so like make sure that this can't go backwards because I creamed Storage Commander for having the same issue. So I need to fix that. Billing. Then I was thinking, instead of their credit card, I probably need to get their routing number and account number. Would probably make more sense because they're going to have to integrate it with Stripe. Yeah. So that's dim at the back end, dim at the front end. So then I wrap the entire program in this demo back end and demo front end. The idea is like, oh no, my internet's going to be slow because I'm in St. Charles. But like the idea is that this is the landing page for a potential new client, right? So when they show up, they click on the demo button. This first one, I got it set up where the JavaScript will load it right here, so it will like feel a little bit more real. The internet is very slow right now, so it might work kind of funky. But so this first one, it doesn't drop you down, but like if you do facilities map, it'll load. My internet's very slow right now. I'm like out in the country. Oh no. But you see how it dropped us down. So yeah, so anyway, that's kind of cool. So the whole thing is basically wrapped in this demo back end. Same thing for demo front end if you do it. Do I even want to try to onboard anybody? I was going to show you some new onboarding features, but the internet's so slow it might mess up. Oh, okay, it doesn't drop. All right, so yeah, because I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I figured out this rate card availability. This was like messing up. I had to write a new algorithm to like keep these kind of in line. I was also thinking of an algorithm to make this load in properly. So it'll like split based on X, and then it'll turn these into ints, and then it'll multiply so you get a square foot, and then it'll load in with like lowest square foot to highest square foot. But then if the 2 square foots happen to match, then it would be the one with the lowest first int in the list. That's the algorithm. So I need to implement that so that it loads in lowest to highest. And yeah, just because like it looks kind of goofy that it's like 10 by 5, like it should be 5 by 5, 10 by 5, you know what I mean? Like, and also this sets up, like these are just a fictitious facility with, just like 4 inventory options, but this is set up so that it like parses through their inventory file, and it'll like parse out whatever. It's just, this was just the fake data set I made. So like if you had 20 separate inventory sizing options, like it would populate properly. In theory, I mean, I guess I need to test that a little more. But let's try to move somebody in. It might break. Let's see. So I added this video nade on how to use Page because I figured out how to get on your phone how to upload pictures. It took a lot of programming, a lot of research, but I did end up getting it. Then I'll do that next week. I don't have a capture card on me just right this second, but I'll get a capture card so we can plug the phone in, and then I'll do it on the phone next week. And if my internet's strong enough, I'll try this. So tap to start. And so I figured out, let's see if this works. I figured out how to set up a webcam. Yeah, excuse this dirty place. I'll also fix I don't know if y'all remember, but last week there was an issue with this where there were 2 of these overlays for some reason. But so let's... Yeah, good enough. Capture. Boom. Alright. So we've captured our card. Not great, but again, the internet's slow. The internet's super slow, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. And let's call it student ID. I spelled that wrong, but I don't care. My first name. I need to get addresses here probably. Will tell me that 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. Dang it. Alright, and again, that's just the fake card that they give you to test this out. Agree to the terms. Oh, and I found out this is 100% legally viable. This is called a digital contract as opposed to an electronic contract, and the digital contract is legally enforceable. The electronic contract is an additional layer of security, and that is typically integrates with email. So companies like DocuSign, eSign, eVerify, things like that, they have APIs that you can plug into, and it'll send them an email to do it. But for our purposes, I mean, the most a client could really get burned is like $100. I don't think it's worth it. I think it might be like over-engineering to do the electronic signature. I think a digital signature would be fine for this case. It is enforceable. So yeah, I mean, this is fine. My internet's so slow, this is going to be... I'm just going to do that. That's fine. I hope this even works. We'll see. This may not work because the internet's so slow. It's waiting on Stripes. It's working, but... I'm pulling off of my phone. It's hotspotting for my phone. There's only like 2 bars of service, so we'll give this just a minute to see if it works. Come on, work. Something happened. There we go. Hi, student ID. Welcome to Fake Storage Code branch. Fake branch. I guess. What's it doing now? Still spinning. Guess it's striping. There we go. All right, welcome, student identification on. He's French. You know, so I've already showed you all this. Nothing crazy. But let's go find him. There's a bug I think I may have showed you guys with like sometimes it would like be blank, but I figured that out. The issue was gosh, I gotta get better Wi-Fi. So contact. I wanted to show you something that I added to there to that onboarding process. Student identification. Whoops. All right, so so the picture isn't great, but it converted it into a pill image. So you remember the overlay? So the algorithm, like when it's doing that, one of the things it's doing is it's using Python to convert the image to a pill image, increase the brightness, increase the contrast, increase the exposure, and then also like cut off I was kind of, you know, and the internet's slow, so it probably like uploaded the picture where it wasn't, you know. In a real situation, this would have like been better because my hand was shaky and whatever. But I think it's kind of cool. Under better circumstances, it typically cuts a little bit better, and you can see. That's not a great example, but it's pretty cool because it cuts the margin off, so it looks it looks pretty professional. Another thing I learned and did this week was it's called Suite Notifications. Suite Notifications 2, it's like a JavaScript library. So like right now, if we try to move somebody in, it's like error, student identification is in this unit. You can't move someone else in, you dummy. It's like, okay. Or if you want to move out, like, are you sure you want to do it? And so, yeah, so this is just a pretty, I don't know, notification library in JavaScript. And I've noticed all the payment terminals use this. Like, if you look at any payment terminal, they are, they're pretty much all using that. So, just one of the weird things I noticed kind of this week. So yeah, so that I did that. Let's. I don't know. Do we want to move him out? Yeah, move out. So the move out function works. If we want to move in, I need to do this. Select status. So like once you move him out, so cancel, you always assume that the unit's dirty, right? Because you just moved out. So somebody needs to go put eyes on it. So this unit status thing, I imagine people are like walking the facilities, so they'll pull this up on their phone. So put empty, like the unit status at the top, so you can like easily switch it to clean. Then once you switch it to clean, it shows up on inventory, like on the front end, and it is able to be rented. So just because you move somebody out, it's not rentable until it's clean. And that's just, that's how I would do it. And I need to put to where, like, if somebody's in it, you can't move them in, or you can't do rented paid up if, like, it's empty. You know what I mean? Dummy proof it a little more. But so, like, right now, if you wanted to move someone in from the back end, so moving a past customer, if you hit yes, it'll, like, pre-fill out. It'll show a drop down. I haven't made this yet, but I'm working on it. It'll show a drop down, like, pick them. And then it'll have their picture, their contract, all that stuff already signed. So, you can just like move them into a number. But if it's no, you're moving into unit number 229. This is broke because I haven't wrapped the whole thing in the demo thing and put the new navigation bar on it. But this is a different program than the front end logon, right? Like it's very similar. But like on the front end, you don't know that you're moving into unit 229. It just assigns some inventory, and then just like first in, first out, it'll just find some inventory that's a 5x5. This one is like you're moving into unit number 229. Like they just picked it on the link on the back end map, and so I need to watch this because this program is very similar to the front end, but it's like slightly different. That's why this is broken because I haven't got to it yet. But functions the same way. You can upload your driver's license, all that jazz. So that's new. Yeah. On the facilities map, I'm kind of proud of this thing. I think it's kind of cool. So like different size screens, you got different, or maybe just different preferences, and it works across. It just remembers whatever you did. So like if it's here. And then you like reload the page, it just remembers. It's kind of cool. Kind of proud of that. And again, I mean, I know I'm beating this horse to death on the map, but like, I think it's cool that it slides. Like right here, this is dirty, so let's make it clean. Anti-clean, commit or edit, and go back to the map. Whoops, wrong one. Now it's blue, and it shows up on inventory. Just that it's live. So like if you've got one guy that's on his phone out in the field, they can, they're going through inventory. Now it's rentable, man. Yep. Contact cord. I want to put a slider scale here, but it's a little bit more challenging. Calendar still works. I mean, this works. Like, if you want to move somebody in, Eric Marks is moving in. Let's schedule. I don't know, Dean Marks. I mean, there's not too much more to do, but just make it a little bit prettier. Just like move in, that'll show up. And then once I get this a little bit more stable and thought out, I'll link the, like on the contact card, the move in and move out will just link with this. But I want to fix this and make sure I've thought it through thoroughly before. Data and records, I just made it prettier, especially on mobile. It looks a lot prettier on mobile. Automation, kind of the same thing. These actually work. I was thinking I might try to make these like prettier, or maybe like colored. I don't know. And then also I need to put in, so like on the what I call like outer variables. So let's do like demo front end so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's like your company image, your company name, like, your phone number, your email, your branch, like all that jazz. Like that probably needs to be, maybe I should do a settings page actually, instead of an automation, like a settings page. I don't know, or I could just do it here. My thought was to put it in automation and then just be like branch name, branch phone number, and it's just like additional stuff you pull out, you like fill in. But that might not, maybe it should be a settings page so then you can like change your username and passcode and like your login stuff. Maybe there should be like a settings page. I don't know, let me think that through. Set unit pricing still works the same. I made it, this looks a lot prettier on mobile, and before on mobile you couldn't like drag like this, you had to like boop, bloop, you couldn't drag. I figured out how to drag it, which makes it feel a lot more real. And you have to update price. Then on the website front end, this just links you to the front end, but I was thinking what might be better is like this, and it opens up another page where it's kind of like Squarespace or Wix or something like that, and the idea is like you can kind of edit your actual front end. That's kind of a Cadillac plan, if I like have time to do that. If not, then it's just going to be like, here's 2 or 3 design options, pick one from a catalog kind of thing. But it would be nice if they had the ability to like create it themselves. But that seems like a lot of work, a lot of challenge. I don't know if that's within my abilities, just to be honest. And then kind of the same thing with on the sign up page. I thought about, I don't know if I've said this yet or not on this video, I've said it before, but kind of the same thing so that they, like for them to have their ability to make this like a SVG rector based, thing where they can make their map. So like the idea would be like you've got predefined blocks, like here's a 5x5 block, here's a 10x10 block, here's a 20x10 block, like draw it, man, label it. But then like you're essentially like making your own Illustrator, and it's like you want to reinvent Illustrator or Photoshop or something, it's possible, but it's like, I mean, it's like, that's a whole nother thing, man. So it might just be easier for me to do it and charge them 50 cents a unit. I don't know. That's, again, a Cadillac plan. Cadillac plan is like a term in politics. Like if you're running a campaign, you got your Cadillac plan, your Toyota plan. Cadillac plan's like if you get all the money and have all the time and all the things are going great for you. It's the Cadillac plan. So yeah, back to the back end. One more thing I wanted to show, locations. So I haven't built this out yet. I just this is just a picture to just kind of show, but I think the way it's going to work is, so like one has to be selected, right? And once you select that, it's going to change your root directory. So I've thought this through a little bit. All the way up here at the top. I think it's like right, yeah. So your base directory, right? So right now the way it's working is like you define your root directory, or base directory is what I'm calling it. It's like this one's for the online when I put it on the server. But basically it knows where I'm at, right here. It knows, I think the way that it'll be is it'll be in this static, And instead of this backend and images, no, images is shared. Images will stay because this is like images for the program itself. But map and backend will be in facility 1, and then facility 2 will have its own backend and map. And so then it will query, it's going to have its own database and its own images and map and things like that. And so it'll just kind of pivot. And so all of the functions will stay the same. All of the HTML templates and everything will stay the same, but it's going to have its own, I guess, how's the stripe key going to work? I guess the stripe key can work because it's going to be the same operator. I don't know, but yeah, it's going to be something like that. I might have to think through the financials of it, but I mean, I think, yeah, it'll just have its own, yeah, because all this, each customer will have its own Stripe identification number. They're just all going to have to be in the same Stripe account. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so that's roughly kind of how it's going to work. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, is there anything else? Things that I need to get done this week are, think this through. I'm still not really ready to jump to multi-units just yet because I really want to, because once you do that, it's kind of like it's like everything you do, if you make a change, you're going to have to like make that change to the other ones. So I want to make sure that I've like really figured out what the heck is going on for one facility before I scale up, go up a level of complexity. But then I was thinking also, after I go up the next level of complexity, which is the locations, I can go up another layer of complexity, which will be the like divisions, or it might be regions. So like if you were to sell this to a REIT or something, like if it was a division, it would be like, pick a division. So like instead of it being, like here, it would be like hotels versus storage units, and it might change the graphics, but I mean the same thing is basically going on. It's like you're renting space, man. But yeah, like so it's like what, where, where, who, and then when. What, where, when, who. So I think it's kind of cool. Like it's your most like fundamental basis of what's going on. It's like that's what the program does. Like what, where, when, who. Maybe that's a how. Yeah, or maybe the automation is how. I don't know. But yeah, just things to think about. I feel like it's kind of coming along. I like the I kind of like this, the landing page, the new landing page. I like that the graphics. So when you pick you can tell which one is highlighted based on the color. I think that looks pretty sharp. It looks really sharp on mobile. It's starting to look really cool on mobile. I think this looks kind of cool. This makes it look kind of official, especially how things move. On the facilities map, I learned this little thing, so you can see, just like these little touches that make it feel like a real program. But yeah, I feel like I've been going for a long time. I think that's kind of all I've got. If you guys have, something else I did. I think this one's kind of neat. Let's just go to a random person. I don't know, Justin Gray. Sounds great. So, this one doesn't have any user notes. Let's find another one. All right, so I added user notes, and so you can edit it. It works just how you think. But like to create the user notes, I made it's one of the first programs I ever made actually, but it's Mad Libs. So it's like Diane Castro from Unit 352 raved about the great advice they received from their infinite chocolate fountain. Recommended me chat with it for business tips, which, that's not great. But basically, it's just Mad Libs to create some random user notes to generate it for like this fake data set. But it works pretty cool, so you edit it. It works just how you'd think it should. Like, this is the user notes. Hello world. and then you like commit your edit just like you would anything else. And then it scales up the user notes. Like if it's super long, it'll just like scale. So then commit that edit. Boom. So I think that actually took quite a bit of programming to figure out how to do that and make it look right. So that's kind of cool. That was something I added. And I need to add probably their address, but I haven't been doing it because it's printed on their driver's license. But Will was like, well, they're moving, a lot of times. So you need to know their like address. But yeah, I think that's all I added this week. Next week, like I said, I'll do the capture card and I'll show you. I'll do it with the phone so that I can show you it's pretty cool that you can use the phone to take the picture now. It took a lot of effort to figure out how to get that to work. And yeah, I think I'm running out of steam and breath, and I think that's everything, man. Yep. Again, hope I'm in this class. Hope I didn't make the graduate school mad. And if any of you guys can help me get in, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna keep doing the work. I think this is a good project. I think it's coming together. I'm excited about it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas I can steal, hit me up. That's it. Thanks.